Good morning, everybody. Want to just welcome you to the room. It's so cool to just be here and to get to play music for humans, like in a room like this. And it's really nice to see you here. So welcome very much. So what is the thing that you would like to be remembered for? I'm not real crazy, actually, when I think about it. I feel a little ambivalence around what I think people think of me. Right? And what they might say about me when I'm not in the room. I'm not real crazy about the fact that it might be a little bit like the entry in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy about people on the planet in general, the whole of the entry of which was mostly harmless. Right? You know, it's like, I'm just not real sure if my soul would be thoroughly satisfied with this idea that my epitaph might be a pretty nice guy most of the time. You know, it's just not really what I've been shooting for. And so I encourage me and you and us to ask, what is it that we'd really like to be remembered for? And what might we begin to do today to lead in that direction? Like, you know, we've all done stuff that we hope that we're not remembered for. And now we have this opportunity to notice what that feels like and to look forward and go, okay, how will I, you know, go from here in a way that I can really feel good about the impact that I'm wanting to make in the world. So I invite us as individuals and as a community. Who are we? Who are we as the Jubilee community? What has been given to us? You know, we've been given this idea of sitting around in a circle. We play secular music in sacred space. We've got the earth at the center of our awareness in the room. What is it that we've been given? You know, the Jubilee shrug. You know, all these different things that we've been given in this community that's pretty unique. So how do we want to take those things that we've been given and become that open PVC pipe that's open on both ends? So with that, let's stand. years ago, Paula met Yona and invited me to come and start sharing directions. You may remember we used to do drums, right? And it was how we could hold up bowls and be smoking around and maybe still at home. And so that has evolved, and Yona's been doing this. And he called me yesterday and he said that he's up late and he's really in his sacred space. And so we remember him, bless him today, and ask you to face the Easter. Spirits, angels who say, be not afraid, allies who are with us, guardians of the East, call and acknowledge and welcome you into our circle this morning. We're grateful for your presence. We're grateful for your gifts. Grateful for the wind. We're grateful for the new day, the new morning, and the breath that we're taking right now in this moment. We thank you for this gift that we did nothing to deserve, but it's just given freely to us. We're so thankful that we get to experience this moment and this day. May we express our gratitude today in the way that we live our lives. Spirits, angels, allies, and guardians of God, we acknowledge and welcome you. We're so grateful for your gifts, the way that wind succumbs to fire, spring succumbs to summer, the way that things proceed. Grateful for the abundance and fulfillment that you offer, the way that dreams and visions can be fully manifest. Your assistance and your guidance and your support. We're deeply grateful. And we express our gratitude today in the way that we live our lives. Spirits, angels, and allies, and guardians of the West, we acknowledge and welcome you. We're most appreciative of your water energy that fire succumbs to. From the fullness and the expansion of summer comes the relaxing and the releasing and the harvest of fall. Discerning that we can bring the nourishment that was developed up to this point with us, and we can let the rest go. We're deeply grateful for the space that you create. Allow us to drop down more deeply into essence. We move forward. We express our gratitude today in the way that we live our lives. Spirits and angels and allies and guardians of the North, we acknowledge and welcome your presence. We send prayers to those in need in this moment. We are aware that there is much going on within us and around us. May we come to you and be reminded of that North Star, that single point of light that reminds us of our existence, helps us to see that we can focus and move in the direction that we most want to go at any given time. We're deeply grateful for this gift. We express our gratitude in the way we live our lives today. All right, let's turn to face this time. Oh, within and around, above and below, around, about, and eyes, and hearts, memories, dreams, abilities. We acknowledge our presence together here today. We acknowledge presence of things beyond that we cannot see, but only listen for. We're grateful for this. We're grateful that there's so much more going on than we could ever possibly know. And we express our gratitude for this blessed gift in the way that we live our lives today. So this is a song that we're gonna do in this dance with legacy, and Paula's gonna sing a little bit, and then we've got words on the Jubitron up there, and give it a shot. It's Jubilee, right? We'll just give it a go because we can.
I don't mind if you got something nice to say about me. I enjoy an accolade like the rest. You could take my picture and hang it in a gallery of all the who's and so-and-sos that used to be the best at such and such. Wouldn't matter much. Did I choose to love? Did I hold you enough to make all the things I wanna be enough for me? Child, who blessed your name unapologetically? Leave a kind of legacy.
That's terrible. Make it better. Let's go back to that verse and do it one more time. Here we go.
Life feels alright to see your name in the lights. We are made in our voice forever. But in the end, I'd like to hang my hat on more besides temporary trapping. I don't have to look too far or too long a while. That I enjoy. It's an accumulating trinket and a treasure pile. Other rusted things and such will soon enough destroy. I wanna leave a legacy. Oh, they remember me. You're just running the show today, aren't you, Daniel? Oh my yourself. Oh my goodness, so much to do.
By my relationship with my dad, but legacy is a lot bigger than that. And so I kind of was thinking about the various ways that we're given stuff, and then we process it in our own beings, and then we put it out there in the ways that we live our lives. And so this is really kind of the overall heart of this song. And I'm really grateful to have Paula, Hanke here, and Sherman Hoover back there. Hey, Sherman. And Spencer Boljack on the drums, has been playing with us for a while. And we got Hank Bones over there on the guitar.
Hank's mom is in the audience today.
What's that?
Hank's mom is in the audience.
Oh, really? Hank's mom?
There she is.
Oh, hey.
From New York City, everybody.
That's so cool. Welcome. Can you guys hear the guitar? You can? No. Barely? Can I get a little bit more guitar? Of course, you'll miss the mistakes if it's nice and low like this. Okay. That's all you can ask for. I came in open and awake. We had fun in the sun and danced around upon the lake. You showed me connection with your open glove. And as I came of age, the gift that set the stage was the love. Within the way you walk the earth, we stand upon an ocean floating on a gift that love hands down. It's magical to me just to get to be, and all that we need do is to arrive. Listen, you don't have to know. Eat, stay, you don't have to go. Run, play, the world will come and blow. Love, light the way and come alive. As I seek the master key, I balance who I am with who you are in me. I fought, but still you live in everything I do. Each moment now a step in my rebirth into the love. Within the way I walk the earth, we dance upon an ocean, moving in the gifts that love hands down. It's magical to me just to get to see there's more to do with this than just survive. Listen, you don't have to know. Eat, stay, you don't have to go. Run, play, the world will come aglow. Love, light the way and come alive. Far beyond a deep horizon, the trail behind me runs. Unfazed fire fuels this march. Untold stories beckon, love's bequest comprise a legacy of mystery hiding right beneath our eyes. What is in you? What is ripe? What inspires the voices in you, calling you to life? If there is a prayer to go with thanks, and are you there? Can you give with all that you are worth? Look to the love within the way you walk the earth. We sail upon an ocean carrying a gift of love hands down. It's magical to me, such possibility, a standing invitation there to thrive. Listen, you don't have to know. Eat, stay, you don't have to go. Run, play, the world will come aglow. Love light the way. Listen, you don't have to know. Eat, stay, you don't have to go. Run, play, the world will come aglow. Love light the way.
Down to Barber, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Breathe deeply as we enter this very time. So, it's been that kind of summer. We're all getting out. We are all getting out. We're all getting into the forest. We're all going hiking. We're all watching videos about going hiking if we're not going hiking. And they're done. So when you go out in the woods and you find a path, you think something made that path. Oftentimes, deer and other critters helped to make that path before we were walking it, and then some folks that are not on the earth anymore walked that path before we were walking. Ancestral trails. I've been on an ancestral path lately, thinking about the trees in my forest, my ancestral trees, how they need some healing. Those are some serious brambles in that forest. And there's some folks in my family tree that have caused a lot of harm on the earth. And that's a hard hike. I think for many of us, when we think about our history, it's a hard hike. But you keep going. You keep praying. You keep loving. Just like Daniel was singing about, our walk on the earth can be gentle. And love lights the way. Love lights the way through that. Today we're talking about our legacies, our stories, our footprints. This wild, beautiful forest. Breathe deeply. I invite you, if you have a prayer, go light a candle at the western wall. If you're online, you may chat with friends in the chat box. You may ring and sing your goals and Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. The word of my elders is a light unto my feet. The light of our children, a lamp unto my feet. The light of those yet to be is a brilliant light on my feet. So may. Amen. As we sing, I invite you to share God's peace.
For the beauty of the earth, for the glory of the sky, for the love which brought over the righteous lives, over the righteous lives, Lord of wonder, be with it's such a
So we are really blessed this morning to have Meta Commerce to share some stories, her wisdom, her perspective, her heart in so many ways this morning, one of which is to sing us a song and bring yet another new song to us. So please welcome Meta Commerce.
Thank you. Just to set this up a little bit, the name of this song is 1863. It is a Juneteenth song. Does everybody know what Juneteenth is?
We do now, yes.
All right, so this is a song, if you can imagine it. And I'm going to be asking you several times while I'm with you this morning, just to settle in and just see how closely you can hear the voices. There will be voices speaking. This song is written in the voices of those who are newly freed. We need to hear their voices. There come a day when we all found ourselves out on the way. I am my story, and I'm finally flying away. And that's when the Uha said to me, go eat of that yonder fruited tree, and sweet as the glory tastes to me, 'cause the hand that I ate with is free. I was a traveler, and I found my boat out on the sea. Left it behind me, and I set out to learn how to live an edge of the earth, my destiny, avoiding all traps and falls. There were so many, many things that we never spoke of them again. Let the circle be unbroken. Each one teach one, each one reach one. A traveler, and I find myself out on my way. Open my door, and I'm finally walking away. And then I wonder how you will know me if I should pass you on the street. Look in my eyes, and you will see that the remembering makes us free. Be unbroken. Each one teach one, each one reach one. Let the circle be unbroken. Each one teach one, reach one, reach one. Father, mother, day in, day out, we are moving steady onward. The scripture passage comes from Luke chapter 17, verses 20 and 21.
There. We could hear you, we just couldn't hear the mic.
There is a difference. All right. Luke 17, verses 20 through 21. And when he was demanded of the Pharisees, when the kingdom of God shall come, he answered them and said, the kingdom of God cometh not with observation. Neither shall they say, lo here or lo there. For behold, the kingdom of God is within you.
Thank you, Maida. From Gabriel Roth. In many shamanic societies, if you came to a medicine person complaining of being disheartened, dispirited, or depressed, they would ask you one of four questions. When did you stop dancing? When did you stop singing? When did you stop being enchanted by stories? When did you stop being comforted by the sweet territory of silence? And from Sam Keen, words, concepts, doctrines, ideas are all very necessary for clarity and for consistent action. There is a time for words. It has lasted from the Reformation to the present. Now, we are sick of being inundated in an ocean of verbiage. The word must be rediscovered in the flesh. Religion must return to dance. Perhaps Zorba is the saint for our time. This is ancient wisdom and holy word. Thanks be to all that is wise and holy. All creation is wisdom and holy word. All creation sings of wisdom and God. Hallelujah. Now what we've all been waiting for. It's an honor to have Meta Commerce, a weaver of many stories, so much so that she now is known for a school of story medicine. I'm really looking forward to hearing so much more about it. A pillar of our community, Meta Commerce.
Thank you, Jay. First, let me say how much it means to me to be in this space, this day, in this moment. As I look back, I have to say that this room is the place where much of my, I want to say, what's the adjective that I need? Important moments early on in the story medicine work took place right here in this room. And I just want to acknowledge that. And I want to thank Jubilee for this opportunity to be present and to be of service. And you are already doing what I was going to ask that you do. Please let me know that you are here, because I'm going to be trying to inspire you and tickle your spirit. And so I want some evidence of your presence in this room.
All right.
Okay, yeah, we can take it
Watch
there.
what you asked for.
Yeah, yeah, we can take it there. So don't hold back, because you're about to receive it. Okay? All right, so let me begin by invoking those that we can't see before I further invite you that we can see. I love the Lord. He heard my cry and pitied every groan. Long as I live and trouble rise, I'll hasten to his throne. In the church of my childhood, one of the first things that we would hear on any given Sunday morning as the deacons called us into worship was the chants that they kept in front of us, that they taught us. They made sure that we had that always. Chants from the actual plantation fields that our ancestors sang together during their time of toil. And I just shared 4 lines of one of those chants with you. This vest, this piece of fabric that you see hanging here, contains appliques. And the appliques contain silk fabric from the ties, the neckties that my father would wear. So I'm invoking my father, blue, red, and brown. As well as my elders and ancestors. Document your life. We will be walking in the footprints of the Spirit, dancing with the Spirit this morning by documenting our lives. I'm going to talk to you about the most important aspects, the most important gift that you have. First of all, I want to tell you what it is.
That's awesome. I've been waiting for this for 60 years, Meta.
We are. We're going to have that conversation today. And I guarantee you're going to feel something. Okay. Document your life. I am word medicine woman, living and working in my grandmother's tradition, herself, an Appalachian elder, writer, healer, speaker born in the hills of Eastern Tennessee in 1889. A pillar of knowledge, love, and wisdom is how I know her. How I knew her as I was growing up and how I will know her for as long as I live. My life purpose is to help people heal through story, to carry and teach story medicine. If you listen closely today to what I'm sharing, you will hear how the medicine permeates both the story and the telling. And this permeating keeps the story alive. What I will share with you today invokes them and invites you, but it must begin with my ancestors. Healing narrative, recording your life experience from your heart to discover and explore. I had a friend back in Chicago by the name of Bill Mayfield. I didn't say it, but I am from Chicago. You all know why I don't sound like you used to. I'm from Chicago. That's why I sound the way I do. So Bill was also from there, but he was living at the time in Pittsburgh. And during his time in Pittsburgh, he had done some tremendous things. He had invented a board game. He had written a play. And he had also been personally mentored by the famous Black playwright, August Wilson. So we were sitting around and Bill started talking about his play. And I left out one thing. He had also written a book on Black playwriting. So we were talking and he's all excited about this play and what he felt about it and what it demanded of him and all the technicalities of this experience that he had had. And finally, when he stopped talking, I said, well, Bill, why did you write that play? And he looked at me and he said, I wrote it to document my life. That will be with me from now on. That planted a seed in me, although I was already working with story. In fact, I was in production at that time with a play of my own. But the whole point and principle about documenting your life, that's what I came to talk to you about today. What do you do when you need a story you don't have? What do you do when you need a story that you don't have? Toni Morrison said, we must write the stories we need to read. The best case of that, well, here are a couple of best cases of that. Anita Diamant recognized that in the Old Testament, some stories were missing. The stories of the women were missing, and so she took it upon herself to write them. What a gift. I once heard Steven Spielberg speaking about E.T., and somebody was asking him how E.T. came to be, and he said he gave almost no thought to E.T. as a successful film. E.T. for him represented him giving himself his childhood fantasy. Mm. And so he wrote E.T. specifically for himself to give his inner child what he needed. Hold on to that thought. When I wrote The Mending Time, my intention was to give the child in me everything that you never got. And in so doing, other people have been blessed. The worst case scenario in terms of not having the stories is when individuals move through life never knowing, telling, or even thinking about their stories. These folks motivate me to try to reduce the number of people meeting this description. I'm serious. Descendants trying to find their people with nothing but a name and a place to go by. This may be like searching for gold in the dark, but the Spirit honors it. Anytime we're trying to fill a void in terms of story, the Spirit will honor it. Story medicine represents and teaches the importance and value of your story to your life, to the lives of your children, your loved ones, and community. Legacy, meaning it helps you to heal, to love, to serve. You have to love somebody to tell them your truth. And in so doing, your story makes them feel better, makes them feel connected. Through my years of listening to people, I've learned something about story. Story is powerful. It is infinite. It means it is not bound by time. It is connective. It brings us together like an adhesive. It is contextual. There is always a backdrop, something influencing the story. And it is alive. It's alive, people. Yes, we are one. Yona said last week that we are one. We are. We're not separate. We're not alone. But we need to learn ways to recognize and practice our oneness. We're out of practice.
Yeah.
Everything that comes to us in this world in terms of all the information, they say we're living in the information age now, keeps us totally distracted. We could live out our entire lives and never know who we are.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If the story was not important, why all the distraction?
Mm-hmm.
Think on that. Use your imagination now. I'm going to invite you in, closer in, spiritually speaking, to imagine a few things. Imagine relationships where the stories are fully known. Imagine your life with your story fully told. Imagine doing things you love, such as teaching, mentoring, or eldering, using your story as a resource and guide. Now I'm going to give you some questions to ponder. Do you know the power of your words? Do you know the power of your story? Do you know the power of your life? Buddhism teaches this. If you've ever studied with the Buddhists, it's one new thing that you will learn. They teach that your life is powerful. Imagine this kind of shift in our world touched off by our stories. Individuals, this is where it starts. Building language, voice, clarity with the writing practice, healing your wounds. Families, meeting the challenge there with our stories, tearing down the secrets and taboo subjects. Do you know the story of your people? All it takes is one voice to open it. Communities and groups, imagine the power and trust in organizations and groups, the potential for love and good work that you can generate through the truth of your stories. White people, imagine what you can do to heal your community once you tell your race story. Who else but white people can help heal white body supremacy? What if you started with your story? This is truly a radical act, making you a peaceful warrior working on behalf of humanity. Women, imagine what your whole story would do to inspire, help awaken, and mobilize other women. We are a sleeping giant, my sisters. Imagine inspiring a new chorus of women's voices, changing the state of women's affairs globally. Women are oppressed all over the world in the 21st century. Imagine how this truth and awareness would change women's lives and women's history. Men. Imagine telling your story about your experience in the patriarchy and its real effect on you. Imagine the impact that could have in the world. American history. Imagine, if you can, this country with its history on the table as an open book for all of its citizens and all of the world to see and learn.
Yes.
Put your hands if you want to. So this is how I did it. And I've just finished my memoir and I'm on fire with that book. This is how I did it. And I didn't have a plan to get there. The Spirit has always just given me step by step. And then before I know it, something is happening. So my prerequisites was a writing practice. And when I say writing practice, I'm talking about in the way that Julia Cameron teaches in The Artist Way. The morning pages, I started doing those morning pages in the year 2000. I'm still doing them.
That's awesome.
In that time, so much has happened to my writing and through my writing, just because I made a commitment and continued to write. First thing every morning, write. My grandmother would get up and she said, you know, the spirit, it'll be 3 o'clock in the morning. She would get up and say, the spirit just said, write. And she'd get a pencil and a paring knife and sit down to the kitchen table. She didn't have a pencil sharpener, so she just sharpened the pencil with her paring knife. You know, never cut herself. I didn't understand how she could do that. So it's a writing practice, the first thing. Then I tried, once I returned to school, I went to a school where they want you writing in the first person, making it personal. Then trying 3 different approaches before I struck gold. And I use that metaphor, striking gold in the writing process. We are all carrying around gold that we don't even know we're carrying. It's in your soul. So I wrote my story chronologically, and from that, just beginning with my earliest memories and just continuing on until I felt like I had said all that I needed to say. And raw emotion came from that, just raw emotion. Then I wrote by decade and social issues. When you're a boomer, you know that when you grew up, the world was changing in a way that it never changed before and it hadn't changed since. Mm-hmm. You saw more change. And so I had rich things that I could pull from in every decade of my life. And so I tried that. And from that, I gained a greater sense of creativity and freedom in the writing. But it wasn't until I began to write the life-shaping stories that that I struck gold. I'll say it that way. My deepest memories were there, and it was like an excavation kind of process had taken place. So my books, my play, my poetry, each grew stronger the more I wrote. Writing my story changed my life, taught me much about myself, about others, about life and the world. With all that is going on today, you have probably asked yourself what you can do to make the world better. I want you to know that your story can make the world better. Elders, your story is golden. Somebody said that there are more elders alive today than there have ever been in human history. The Spirit said that's for a reason. Think about what you have on the inside that you can give to the younger generation. Many of them have lost their way. It sounds simple, but it is anything but. Your story is perhaps the most valuable thing you will ever have. And I'm not talking about riches. I'm not talking about honor. I'm not talking about anything that the world would have you chasing. Talking about something real that they can't take from you. So here's my memoir experience. Becoming an author authorized me to break the silence all around me. I refer to the system of silence for generations in my family, active for generations in my family before I was born. I completed this writing process in stages, on and off, for 19 years. My memoir came alive unexpectedly with the stories of the women of 4 prior generations, and so telling my story in the context of theirs created a dimension of generational healing for and through me. It's my grandmother. Oh, that's okay. It's my mother. Me. My daughter. Thank you. These are some of the ways that have been stripped and taken from us. We can get them back. It's in our DNA. If you get quiet enough, you'll remember the things that you forgot. I had a teacher that said all the time, healing is the return of the memory of wholeness. This is something I've been able to share with my daughter and help her. I've used my story to heal myself. I've used it as a template for healing others. How? I've learned that my story is unique only in its external elements of time and place. Otherwise, it's pretty common. Here's what I mean. Slide. Okay, so great things we face. I just have 2 slides that begin with birth, challenge, question, learn, give, loss. Next. Chaos, tearing, freedom, longing, contracting, expanding. This list could have been much longer, but the point that I'm making with these words is that we all face certain milestones, certain challenges, certain experiences along the way that make us who we are. Each of us. Thank you. So our great question is, I'm going to invite you one more time. Our great question is, imagine that there is but one story, that we're each carrying a piece of it. What if our work here is to find our piece of that story and bring it back to the whole? As if to restore what's been broken. Tikkun olam, that's Hebrew for restoring what has been broken. So from my memoir, I learned to see my life's great questions and challenges clearly. I learned to find my spiritual inheritance. I learned to take my healing opportunities. I learned to exercise compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. And I want to add to that, as a child, I always wanted to understand what was going on. Now I do, and sometimes I wish I didn't. But I must be able to handle it if it was given. I learned to live simple values such as people first, truth heals, live by the truth. And here are the benefits that I received from this work. I gained freedom, authenticity, voice, and wholeness. Freedom, authenticity, voice, and wholeness. So come on, people, document your life and set yourself free. It's an invitation, a very special invitation. And if you accept it, this simple yet not so simple act will benefit us all. Thank you, and Ashe.
That was really beautiful. Thank you, Meta. Meta's got an online workshop coming up, The Healing Power of Memoir. It's on July 17th from 1:30 to 3 p.m. and information's in the hospitality room. I just signed up for it, so I hope to see some of you there. Also in the hospitality room are Gracelyn Mulkey's beautiful prints. 50% of the proceeds go to the Jubilee Hunger Fund. There's no one there to take your money. Just go with the honor system and leave it in the box. And registration's now open for the mini retreats. I've been really looking forward to these, so that information is up on the website now, and you probably received a little e-blast talking about it. They're on July 31st, August 10th, and August 29th. We'll be exploring just what the heck is the main thing, and how the 4 Vias of creation spirituality fit into the real world, our lives, and our neighborhood and Jubilee. And each retreat will accommodate 40 jubilants, so make sure you visit the Jubilee in action page of our website to register. The arts team is sponsoring a concert by Elder Brother Revolution here at Jubilee on Friday, July 23rd at 7:30 p.m. And Greg Lathrop, Joe Roberts, and Scott Sheeran will be playing sacred healing music with flutes, hand drums, keyboard, and voice. Tickets are $15 at the door, and part of the proceeds benefit the Hunger Fund. The arts team is also interested in sponsoring an author event and wants input from jubilants who are authors. So if you'd like to include your published work in an event or help design the event, please get in touch with Julie Parker. Hood Huggers is holding a special e-bike tour for jubilants of Asheville's historically Black neighborhoods on Wednesday, July 21st from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if you're interested in doing this, which will be a really wonderful educational experience, get in touch with Benita Allen. The final Just Conversations, Dialoguing for a Deeper Truth. These online discussions will take place, the final one, at 6:30 p.m. on July 22nd with Mandy Carter and Pam McMichael. And don't forget to bring fresh cut flowers for the altar every week. They really look beautiful today. And all the links for these announcements are in chat, in the newsletter, and on the website. And that is it for Jubilee in Action today.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't know if the bowls have gone around. So put money in the bowl. If you didn't put money in the hunger basket at the beginning of the center, go ahead and do that during this little time here, the next few minutes. And let's start getting that thing going again. And we're gonna That's where we're going, because that's what we don't know. So we are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We'll know where. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know where. It may be hard, we know, and the road may be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going. We'll know where. We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will. It may be hard, we know, and the road may be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will.
So as we set ourselves out into another week, I invite you to stand and hold hands. So may we, in the words that you just heard, write a new story, a story from the gold that is within you, remembering the wholeness that we have as part of our journey to heal. Write that new story, Jubilee, and let us sing. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? All I ever had, redemption songs, redemption songs, redemption songs. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? Is all I ever had. Redemption songs, redemption songs, redemption songs, redemption songs. Oh,